everybody. This is Anthony. Be honest from Mission Start Podcast. We are back with another week, another episode of MSP. With me tonight is Greg Dietz.
What? Who? What? Oh, hi.
And tonight we're gonna do the same as last week. We're gonna go over what we've been up to, and then after the break, we're gonna be talking about what's been happening this past week in the news. Which, man, yeah, Sony's really hitting out of the park so far. But anyways,
They're trying. They are what the Call of Duty kids call a tryhard.
yes, indeed. But before we get into all that good stuff, Greg, what have you been up to as of late?
I've just been trying to finish my article for why Space Jam is the greatest movie ever, and I want to make it a good, funny, satirical article, so I'm taking my time with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to have it up by Monday, but that's been taking up a lot of my time. Other than that, just hanging out with my nephews. I recently finished Yoshi's New Island, and that is a game that exists. I don't know if you read my review, but I was not happy with it.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews about the game, about it.
Well, like on a visual standpoint, it's a good game. Like visually, it's stunning. It has that crayon pastel coloring system that works really well. The control system is fun. It's as tight as you would imagine it being, but that's where the good ends. Like, some levels have really good level design, but the problem that I found with the level design in certain levels, especially like castles leading up to the bosses, the level design is really off and doesn't really fit the motif of what's going on around you. And some of the levels, the background colors are identical to foreground colors, so there's spikes that can kill you in one hit, and they mesh with the background too well. There are some enemies that this happens with, but it's not that often. It's just that's a problem with level design. Like I said, I'd say 80% of the game is good, but there's that 20% that's bad, and it stands out to me. It stands out as they rushed this game. I talked about how a few years ago, Nintendo came out with Yoshi's Island DS, which was actually a lot of fun. I had a blast playing it because you had 5 babies with you. You had Mario, which was he didn't do anything special to Yoshi, but you had baby Donkey Kong, baby Bowser, baby Peach, and baby Wario. Wario would attract coins, Peach would float, Bowser had fire, and Donkey Kong would climb vines. That was fun. That was cool because each level was designed around that character and worked in a very diegetic way, and I loved it for that.
Mm-hmm.
This game goes, we're going to take all that away, and we're going to just do bare bones Mario on Yoshi's back for the entire game. They really advertised, especially at E3, that there were these giant eggs that you could throw. The giant eggs are so far and few between that I seriously thought, let's see, what's 8 times 6? I'm terrible with math.
Oh, 8 times 6. I want to say 24, but I might be wrong. 8 times 3 is 20. No, wait.
We're both bad at math.
Hang on, I got a calculator. I can do this. 8 times 6. Oh, 48. Wow, I'm way off.
Yeah. So out of 48 levels, I'd say maybe 8 of them had a giant egg in it.
I see.
And that was their big push. It's on their fucking cover. And it just doesn't seem like something that should have just been on the cover if it's so little in the game. There is another type of egg called the egg dozer, which is a giant metal egg that's heavy. And there are some cool moments where that giant metal egg comes into play. Instead of just throwing it and knocking everything out of your way, what you do with it is you're able to sink into water.
Mm-hmm.
And because Yoshi doesn't swim, he basically floats on the surface, and there's no way to dive or anything like that. So the only way to get under the water is by using an egg dozer. But again, as cool as that was, it happened maybe twice the entire game.
Oh wow.
And I just feel like I'm not asking for it in every level, but at least twice every world would have been great. But instead it was like, I think a grand total of 2 times. And then, like I said, the big egg was like, I think there were like 2 or 3 worlds that didn't even have a big egg in any level.
Mm.
So it was very disappointing. The whole game was disappointing. Um, like if you're looking for, again, a bare bones Yoshi's Island experience, and you don't have the resources to play the old ones, go ahead, play it.
Hmm.
You'll get a kick out of it because it's adorable. But between pseudo bad level design, terrible music, um, just unmemorable things in general, it's just not worth your time. Maybe when it goes down in price, when it's like on the virtual console, check it out. But either it's a rental at the most, and not even that, in my opinion. Um, I mean, I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it like I said, as a game, it works as a game. The controls are tight. I was never frustrated with that part. I was just frustrated with a lot of other stuff.
Right.
And this is a little bit of a spoiler, and I say a little bit because it's a spoiler like telling you that there's a man inside Big Bird's suit.
All right.
Um, so at the end of the game, when you get to the final boss fight, you fight Baby Bowser as you do in the other um, Yoshi Islands.
Mm-hmm.
His boss fight is you fight him as a small guy, then you fight him as a big guy, and you beat him. That's it.
Mm.
Um, and the way you fight him as a small guy is literally like he keeps doing this ground pound move, and that's his only move. And when he does it, he somehow brings up Shy Guys. It's the weirdest thing. But you use the Shy Guys to make eggs, and then when he goes above you, which he goes above you directly every time, you go and throw an egg directly up into his taint, and that's how you hurt him. You do that 3 times. It's the easiest fucking thing on the planet.
I
And
s-
then, what's that?
oh no, go ahead. Sorry, no, I was just laughing.
And then when Kamek comes and's like, no, Master Bowser, blah blah blah, I'm gonna hit you with my magic hammer and make you big. He's like, instead of that awesome, memorable boss fight from the first game where he's coming at you from the distance and you have to launch eggs at him,
Mm-hmm.
which was the coolest shit ever. He's just a big guy right in the foreground, not foreground, but right in the background, like but slightly in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And all he's doing is he's jumping, which is dropping giant Shy Guys to make giant eggs, and he's launching fireballs into the air that rain down on you super slow. And every time you hit him in the face with one of the giant eggs, he like gets mad and starts stomping, which just makes all the platforms move, but none of them ever go below to hit the lava. So it's not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no challenge there. You just wait for him to stop throwing his tantrum, and then when he's done, he'll drop another Shy Guy and you hit him in the face again.
Hmm.
It's really easy. And I thought, well, if that's anything, that's a testament to Yoshi's Island. Every game has had super easy bosses. That's just the way that it is. This game had super easy bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hell, the midway in the world boss, which is where you fight Kamek,
Mm-hmm.
those bosses were harder than the level ending bosses.
Ah, I see. Huh.
Yeah, because he had a pattern or some kind of thing that was special about him, and you had to figure it out before actually attacking him. So it was a challenge.
Right.
And those were actually a lot more fun to do than the actual boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
So you jump to this, like, it's all controlled and by the game, and Yoshi and Mario go and save Yoshi and the stork and whatnot, and then all of a sudden the screen rips apart and Bowser's there, like adult King Bowser. And he roars in the screen. Now, he roars in the screen as if you're using the 3D. But let's be honest. No one really uses the 3D with the 3DS because it hurts your eyes.
Mm.
At least I don't know anybody that does.
I see. Huh.
But, so his boss fight is literally like there's a platform that he stands on. And he'll On the left or right, he will drop a metal Shy Guy, which makes a egg dozer. You then launch the egg dozer at him while jumping over his fireballs, which are not difficult because of Yoshi's flutter kick. He'll grab the egg dozer and try to push it back. But as he does this, he like stomps on his own platform, breaking it. So basically, all you have to do is wait for him to do his 3 jumps, and then his big jump, run under him, go to the other platform, rinse and repeat until he falls in the lava.
Right.
Kamek will come, hit him with the hammer, make him big. His final form, his big final form, is the exact same boss fight that you fought as Baby Bowser a second ago.
Interesting.
The exact same thing. Then he's dead, and he disappears. The game is over. Why did he show up? It was no point. They were like, well, we got to have the boss fight a little bit better, but we're so unimaginative, let's just bring in Bowser. The fuck is that shit?
Curiosity, who was Nintendo behind this, or as far as like making this game, or was it somebody else?
It was a different company. Artoon... I'm looking it up right now because I know Artoon did Yoshi's Island DS, the one that I actually really liked. But it was a different company that made this one. I'm going to Wikipedia right now because the other thing that drove me nuts was the unintentional retcon of the story. So the original story's idea was that the stork is taking Mario and Luigi, baby Mario and Luigi, to their parents in the Mushroom Kingdom. And on the way, Kamek fucking attacks him. Cool. All right, that's a simple, easy plot. This game is literally, after the last game, the stork drops off Baby Mario and Luigi, to the wrong house. Now he's got to re-pick them up and then gets attacked by Kamek. What? What? You couldn't think of anything more imaginative than that.
Right. Yeah.
It's so stupid. And I know, it's Yoshi's Island. I'm probably putting too much thought into the plot.
No, it's understandable. Like I mean, I'll finish what you're saying, but I have something I'm gonna compare it to. But yeah, like it's definitely understandable your rage about it.
Arzest made this one, and the games that they have made are, and wait for it because you're gonna fly off your seat off of these amazing games. We Play Motion for the Wii. Street Pass Me Plaza for the 3DS.
Wow. And
Time Travelers for the 3DS, PSP, and the Vita. If you don't know what Time Travelers are, it's fine because no one does.
Damn. Well, that's good to know.
It's like I said, I gave it a 6 because it still plays like a well-developed game, but when you put more thought into it like I did, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I get paid the big bucks. I don't get paid anything. You notice the flaws, and you notice the blemishes, and they, in my opinion, they stick out like a sore thumb in this game. They aren't hidden by some amazing cloth that makes you feel good. Like most games, they are right out in the front open. It's how they started the game. It's how they're like, hey, so look at our flaws, so you know them, and that's all we're going to show you. Oh, well, what about all those stuff back here? Now you can play with that, but look at our flaws. Like that's how it felt to me, and because, like I said, it's just a mundane, bare bones Yoshi Island game with a few extra bad things.
Okay.
Not worth time or energy.
Okay.
Also, the multiplayer stuff is fucking god awful. Every time you beat a world, you unlock a new mini game, multiplayer mini game, and I had my buddy come over and we did download play. And it turns out that each game is not a competitive mode like I thought it was, like it should be. Each mode is a cooperative mode, and it's like pop as many balloons as you can. Float as long as you can. You guys should work together on collecting as many coins as you can. It's like, that's not fun.
Right.
What am I getting out of this?
Right, I hear you. um, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, though, for sure. Um, but was there anything else that you were up to as of late, or was that?
No, that's about it. I'm about to get because the DS that I borrowed to play that game, I asked if I could hold on to it for a little bit longer, and hopefully on Saturday, I should be getting Mario and Luigi, Mario Luigi's Dreamscape or whatever the hell it is.
Oh yeah,
It's the latest in the Mario and Luigi RPG series,
cool. Oh yeah,
which
definitely.
I'm a big fan of those.
Oh yeah, definitely. The RPG series in the Mario Luigi series has been pretty good.
Dream Team, that's what's called. Yeah, because I bought Superstar Saga back in the day, and I fucking
Mm-hmm.
adored it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, Partners in Time, awesome. There's like there's four characters I get to play with. That's the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Bowser's Inside Story, and I thought that was really brilliant. And then when Dream Team came out, I was like, I don't have a 3DS.
But now
So,
you do.
yep, I'm gonna play the fuck out of it.
It's funny. I mean, when you were talking about your review for Yoshi's Island and your dislike for some of the things that they did wrong with the game, it reminded me of the thing I just did on MSP's site this past week or was it last week maybe. But basically, I did a video talking about Capcom's new character that was announced at final round, the fighting game tournament in Atlanta this past weekend. It might have been last weekend actually, but no, it was this past weekend. Yeah, and so just to give you a little back history about this, so um, Capcom they've been gearing up for Ultra Street Fighter 4 with a ton of new things coming to it, new characters, and new balance changes, and a new mode for the game, along with other cool stuff. And they've been hinting at this new character that they've been teasing us for the past 5 to 6 months, saying that this character has never been in any Street Fighter game, and it's going to be completely new and completely different. And they were hyping it up for the last couple months, and a lot of us who are fighting game fans, especially like, Street Fighter, were excited. It's like, oh man, who could it be? Like we were all trying to guess and see who it was. Um, and it happened on the last day of final round. They showed off and announced the last character in the trailer, and the new character for Street Fighter 4 Ultra Edition is DiCaprio, aka a Cammy clone, and
Yeah, I saw the picture. I was like, she kind of looks like superhero Cammy.
pretty much like here's the thing, it's basically Cammy in every retrospect because like it's the same model, her same idle animations, and most of her moves are Cammy. The only difference is that she has a few different variations to her. Um, like, not to get too technical, but like her heart punch is kind of like a purple blade that she could just like hit with you. Um, she has different supers and ultras. And then what was it? The only difference that she is from the other Cammy is that she's a charge character, and when I say charge character, that means like holding back on the joystick or on the D-pad, and then going forward with whatever button you push in that motion to do a move. Um, and there are other moves she does do that kind of different from Cammy, but I think what really angered a lot of people, because there was a lot of hate. Like when the announcement happened, even like there was a crowd cam reaction, and people were when that trailer was being shown, like there was dead silence, and like everybody like
I
had to,
imagine it was like those shots of there's these camera shots of people getting shown something horrific,
yeah.
and they just start flipping their shit.
Yeah, it like there were literally some boos that were happening when the trailer was being shown, and I what I think I mean and I said this in the video I put up on MSP YouTube channel is that people aren't particularly mad at the character itself. The character itself is pretty cool, but what what angered him is that that this character that they used is exactly the same model as another character they just have in the game, and with the exact same things. It wasn't anything new. Technically, she was not in a Street Fighter game. Well, technically, in quote unquote, um, as a playable character. Um, but like this really angered a lot of people and felt betrayed by Capcom. It's like, you gave us a character that was exactly another clone of a character. She's not anything new. We were hoping for a fresh face, but no, we got evil Cammy is what it came down to. And yeah, um, and it kind of speaks volumes as far as like where Capcom is at specifically money wise. Because if Capcom had any money to make a new character, new animations, and a new model, then they would have in the first place. But because they had to reuse some of their resources, like the Kame clone, like the stages they got from Street Fighter X Tekken and ported that to Street Fighter Ultra 4, and the characters as well too. Hugo, Elena, Poison, and Relento were all from Street Fighter X Tekken. Um, it speaks volumes as far as like how much money Capcom really has, and it's telling us that they don't have a lot as we think they do. And I'm not sure exactly if they do or not, because the strange thing is that they are also putting money into the fighting game community's tournaments, given 2,000 pop bonus, $200 extra for some of these tournaments, and they even have their own pro tour for Street Fighter. So I'm not quite sure where exactly the money is at with Capcom. I want to say that they're broke, but at the same time they have money to spend. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation, but overall people were not happy when that announcement happened. Yeah.
People have a very strong distaste towards bullshit, and
Because they were hyping this character up for the past 5 months, and this is like, so this is what you're hyping up about? A clone? Really?
yeah, exactly. It's I don't know. It's just it seems like Capcom's MO right now to definitely just spout the biggest bullshit imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
The coolest fucking news about Capcom in the past year that I can think of, off the top of my head, is the inclusion of Mega Man in the new Smash Brothers game.
Yes.
And that's not even a fucking Capcom game.
Yeah, agreed. Because if you think about it, previous Capcom games that came out as of late have not done well, actually. What was it? Lost Planet 3 did not do well. Um, I want to say Devil May Cry. They came out. I think that did pretty okay. I mean, I like the game, but I'm not sure how successfully commercially it did. And then other than that, though,
audiences are fickle. I think that like
Yeah.
if you take the new Devil May Cry, a lot of people didn't want to play it because it's not Dante.
right.
It's some bullshit emo Dante version.
Right.
And it's like, well, it's a reboot, so what do you really want?
Mhm.
The game really wasn't that bad.
No, it was good. I liked it. Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't buy it because of the nostalgia part.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, people are like, we want new, but we don't want you to take old things and make them new.
Right. The funny thing out of all this is that it was recently rumored, or like recently somebody found out, like the Capcom Japan put up a kind of like a website of all the characters so far, and then they have everybody, including a new character, in the Street Fighter roster. You can check out which character, information about them, and then they have 3 extra empty spots in this new roster. It's like, oh, huh. That's interesting. So everybody's like, "Oh, hey, more clones, awesome." But yeah, it's just kind of funny how that is. And, yeah, but aside from that, though, by the way, you guys go check it out. It's on our site. I've been playing a bit more of South Park: Stick of Truth.
Such a good game.
Yeah, man. The game is as funny as it is. Underneath it all, like the gameplay mechanics are really good. I really like the.
You know, it's okay. So it's funny you say that because if you were to give me an RPG
Mm-hmm.
that was so basic, it was like if you took the most mundane story elements from every other RPG in existence and you made the most basic fucking RPG with the exact same gameplay style,
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But because it has South Park skin over it and is legitimately really funny,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes fun to play.
Yeah.
It's like the Mario RPG series. It plays like the fighting mechanic in the game is very similar to that. There
Mm-hmm.
are timed button presses to counter or block, or you can hit extra if you hit the button at the right time, which is fun. It keeps people invested in the fights.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I was talking to somebody about how each version of each South Park game that has ever come out is just a clone of another game. It's a mundane version of another game with South Park skin over it, and that's what makes it sucky. This game is no different, except that it is different. It is what makes South Park so unique. What makes South Park so much fun is the writing.
Yeah.
And this game is written by the guys who do the show. It's animated in a lot of ways by the guys who do the show. So, or at least they work directly with them. So everything about the game feels South Park, and that's what makes the game stand out. Not the RPG elements, but the way that the game plays. I'm sorry, not the way the game. I just totally counteracted what I said. The way that the game feels is South Park to a core, and that's what makes the game. That's what brings the level of the game up.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. I am.
have you beaten it yet?
I haven't beat it yet. I am. I just got to this. I just got to the part where I got abducted by aliens. And
Oh
now,
wow, you are
yeah,
you are so far back.
yeah. Um, what was it? Yeah, like I'm at that point. I'm kind of stuck actually. I'm trying to find the. I'm trying to. I'm like Stan is like or what's the Stan's dad is guiding me to the station. I'm trying to find the switches to turn out the force field so he can get free with my butthole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you want, it's up to you, and we can announce it on the podcast. But if you want to plan a stream day where I can watch you play, and when you get stuck, I can help, we can absolutely do that.
Sure. I don't mind the extra help. I can definitely
What
say
difficulty are you playing it on, by the way?
normal. I think it is or
Okay.
yeah.
Because with normal, the thing about normal is you're going to want to do the side missions to level up.
Mm,
Um, I played on easy so that way I could do the story as fast as possible because I had a review to do.
right.
Um, and I actually found myself enjoying the game more than people who played on normal simply because nothing is too hard and I can get through and get the story of what happens in the game a lot quicker. Uh, if there's a way to drop the difficulty, I highly recommend it
Mm-hmm.
because things are going to be cheaper. You're going to level up faster. You're going to find more badass weapons quicker. It's up to you though. You don't have to put it on hard, or I'm sorry, you don't have to put it on easy. But I would recommend if you don't, you need to do side missions.
That's fine. I mean, the side missions they remain there as long as you progress to the game, right?
Yes, they don't. As a matter of fact, when I finished the game, I was still able to go back into South Park and finish all the side shit.
Okay. And then I'm good then. Okay, for sure.
Except like collecting all the friends, that's a lot more difficult just because some of them, like the Chimpokemon and the friends, are difficult just because if you if you fuck up in a certain spot, you don't get that friend.
Right. Um, the interesting thing is what else I've been doing as I've been playing more. I've been also watching the Game Grumps playthrough Stick of Truth game as well at the same time, and I didn't know this until Ross was pointing it out. But like in each of the battle, especially like when you're rescuing Kyle, um, like or no, what was it, Kyle? The thief or the kid was in detention.
No, it's Clyde.
Clyde, yeah. So when you're rescuing Clyde, like, he was pointing out, like, in each room that you went in, you can actually avoid battles and actually, like, solve puzzles as far as, like, you would gain the experience, but you don't have to worry about going into battles with some of the enemies in each
Yeah.
scene. I didn't know anything about that because I've seen, like, some of the stuff you can shoot at, like, the the chairs falling down or like the telephone to make them go over and check it out. And
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's just brilliant game design. Like allowing you to bypass difficult sections of the game by just looking at the scenery and solving a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
That's really smart. I really dig that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I didn't know anything about that until I was pointed out. It's like, oh, that's awesome. I definitely was gonna probably look for that more the more I played, to stick of truth. But yeah, I'm really loving the game right now. It's been good. I still need to play more of it, obviously, but yeah, I definitely enjoy playing right now.
Well, like I said in the review, I don't know if you've found this out, but one thing that bothers me about the game immensely, I don't like it when I'm watching a movie. Like, perfect example of this
Metal Gear.
is, um, perfect example of this is in X-Men First Class, when Xavier and Eric are using the Cerberus to find other mutants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a montage of them finding mutants. And there's one scene where they go to a bar. It's Wolverine, or played by Hugh Jackman, and he just goes, "Fuck off," and they turn around and leave.
Mm-hmm.
That is a scene, that is a pandering scene. That is something that they put in there to be like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, get it? This is a reference.
Mm-hmm.
Shit bothers me. I don't like it.
Hmm.
This game does that often.
I noticed that too. Especially with some of the side missions, like it's like, oh, remember this episode from this South Park?
Oh, open a fucking closet, go
Yeah,
inside a store.
yeah.
Like, I get it. This show's been on for 17 years. I don't need it rubbed in my face the entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Say funny jokes, do funny things, make funny observations. That's what you do, South Park.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me that the show's been on for 17 years every time I do, like, open up a garage or some shit.
Yeah. I will say,
Or pick up junk. The junk drives me nuts.
I will say that the one thing I didn't know about the game until I recently found out was that, you know, it blew my mind when I realized it, and it made me actually want to go and see it. They have a behind the scenes video of it, but like apparently like the show is all made in Maya, and they just what they did is to make the game they just used the same engine they were using to make the show to make the game.
It's funny that Ross says that because some of the show is made in Maya, not all of it.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, I had this fucking argument with a friend not too long ago. Over the course of the years, they've been doing like, make an episode in 2 weeks, make an episode in 10 days, make an episode in 8 days, make an episode in 6 days. Like, they keep coming out with a new version of that. And what they do when they make a show that quickly is they show how it's made in the one studio by everybody there. Everyone gets one scene that they work on, and they work on that fucker like they don't get any sleep. They just work on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get an episode done in 6 days. Still takes some time. However, when they're working on the show as a whole, what they do is the South Park studio, basically sets up the blueprint for all the scenes. What the Maya studio does is basically like touches everything up, makes sure that the animation flows correctly, and then basically like emails it back to fucking South Park Studios, who edits it all together as a cohesive scene, and then making sure that the dubbing is correct, and then they put it on air.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh.
So yeah, so for Ross to say like it's all animated in Maya is not entirely accurate.
Okay. That makes more sense. But yeah.
Because the guy was like, they do episodes in a week. I've seen it. They make every episode in a week. And I'm like, no, they made that episode in a week. Which
Right.
it was the episode that, if you're curious as to which one they did in 6 days, it was the iPad episode, or the Sent iPad.
Oh.
It was Kyle. Do you want me to eat the cuttlefish or the pudding? Murmur, murmur, murmur. Cuttlefish it is.
Yes.
But
Okay. That's
yeah.
cool.
No, I'm glad you're digging the game. I'm a huge South Park fan. I have been for years, and so for me, the game has a little bit more for me than I think it does other people who've watched the show, but not as closely as I have.
Right.
Like, you're digging it, you're loving it, but there's a lot of shit you aren't getting because I'm sure you don't watch every episode like I do.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I'm enjoying the experience and everything about it. So, it's all good for me.
And I think that also stands a thing to the game as well, is like, you don't have to be a huge fan of the show to enjoy the game.
Mm-hmm. For sure. What was I going to say? Yeah. But, yeah, other than that, though, I just got out of school and finals are done. And now I have all this time to sleep and play games and all this good stuff.
Yeah, but how long until you're back in school?
Until April 1st.
Well, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be like a week, but you get a couple weeks, so.
Yeah. So I have enough time to play some more games and other stuff. So
What do you plan on playing after
stick and
South
shoot.
Park?
I think what I'm going to plan to do is I think I might go back and try and finish Cave Story because I'm pretty far into that game. I haven't beaten it yet. But I know I'm getting pretty close. I want to beat that, and then move on to, I don't know. I mean, I have to look through my library. I think at one point I know what it was. Okay, so for sure, the game I want to get back, I want to download and play because I bought that game. I just haven't downloaded yet. Is StarCraft 2, the Heart of the Swarm. Yep, and play the campaign because I heard it's good, and I'm a total sucker for anything Blizzard. So that and I might pick up Diablo 3 since it's not $20 now on sale. So, but yeah, I got some stuff I can play. I mean, I've always got tons of games on my Steam. I'm not even have to worry about.
You always buy those humble bundles.
Yeah, and anything on sale on Steam.
You're exactly the guy I read about that's like, oh man, a new humble bundle, a new humble bundle, a new humble bundle, and then like 3 weeks later you're like, I don't have any more money and I have a lot of games. I don't know what to do with my time now.
Yeah, it's you know what's funny? It's like at this point, like I'm gonna be probably like I have so many games I don't have to worry about finding like any game or finding nothing to do when I'm like working on stuff. Oh, one last thing I will say, if anything by next week I think comes out and I can wait for it. I will play the shit out of part 2 of BioShock Infinite. So
Oh yes.
I am in that booty. I am next Tuesday. It's funny, man. It's funny because like next Tuesday, guess what else comes out on that day?
Next Tuesday?
Yeah, with BioShock.
I didn't mean to yawn into the fucking headset. I don't know.
And it's funny is that they did this to us last week, and it's unfair with Titanfall and Dark Souls 2 coming out on the same night. But as far as what's coming out on next Tuesday, it's going to be part 2 of BioShock Infinite.
Uh-huh.
Hang on a minute. I put it as a status on my Facebook. There was.
I'm looking at GameFly's list of games coming out next week, and I'm not exactly sure which one. I feel like I know which one you're gonna say, but I don't know.
Oh my god. I just wrote this on my Facebook just not too long ago talking about it. Give me a minute. Wow, I did not post it? I swear to God, I did. That's weird. Well, regardless, I can't remember the games off the top of my head, but like two other big title games coming out next week. Oh, Diablo 3. That's right. The expansion pack's coming. Diablo 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming out next Tuesday as well.
I thought you were gonna say Blaze Blue, because it's a fighting game.
Oh, with that too, actually, yes. So like those three games are coming out on the same day next Tuesday. It's like, what do you? If you're a gamer, it's like, what do you do?
You choose what to go with it.
I know, but it's just like we faced this last week with Dark Souls and Titanfall the same day.
I'm definitely getting next week. I'll be playing the BioShock Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why am I just like, hey guys, I know you're listening to a podcast, but I'm gonna make weird sounds while I stretch and yawn. Is that cool? Damn it. We are recording this late though, so.
Yeah, for sure. It's 11 o'clock at night.
But anyway, yeah, the only thing I'm playing is BioShock Infinite thing next week, and I may or may not I probably will write a review just because I wrote one for the first part.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'll be definitely. Man, I just hope. Hopefully this will answer all the questions that we've been wanting to figure out. So we'll see.
I have a lot of answers, so
we'll see if your answers.
We've been over this.
I know.
We've been over this.
I want to prove my theory is better than your theory, and then be like,
a friend of mine goes, I don't know which game to get. I have enough money for one game. Should it be Portal 2 or BioShock Infinite?
Oof.
And me and everybody in the chat were like, well, go with Portal 2. As much as BioShock Infinite is great, Portal 2 is just that much better.
Yeah, it's true.
And he was like, okay, Portal 2 it is. And I was like, but here's what you do. The next game you get is BioShock Infinite. That is the next game you buy. And he was like, oh, why? And I'm like, because it's amazing. Also, if you need to call me, feel free, because everyone else did.
And then you tell him, like, and then if you finish that game, you gotta go play Last of Us.
Actually, no. We all said that he needed to go play, because he'd played Far Cry 3, but he never played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Have you played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon?
Regrettably, I have not. I know it's funny and awesome, but
I don't know how to feel.
Just feel with your heart, man. Just just go with your heart.
Okay, if you all go with my heart, play that fucking game. Go download it now. Play it.
I know.
Because here's the thing, you don't need Far Cry 3 to play that game.
Oh, I know. Yeah. But I know. I will.
It's so good.
I know.
It's so good on my heart.
I know. It's on my to-do list. I got a lot of.
I think I told him after that, like, try to get Saints Row 4.
Yeah. There's a ton of games you can go and play at this point. It's like, well, just throw a dart at whatever big game that came out in the last couple months, and he'll be good.
I don't agree. There are a few games that came out in the past year that were just absolute shit, but like, I wouldn't go get the Call of Duty or Battlefield.
I know. I'm talking about like the major successful ones that we know that are good.
You said Last of Us, which is a great call.
Yes. Because, like, freaking, it's, like, sweeping every other award show, like, every time it enters. Like, oh, we're going to give you all our awards to this one company because the game is that good. So.
You say video game award show, and all I can think of is the VGX and how god-awful that was.
I mean, like, other video game award...
You mean respectable ones?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, for sure. Anyways... We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to dive into a bit of news, and then we'll see what goes from there. Hello, everyone. This is Anthony Bionis from the Mission Start Podcast, and if you enjoy listening to this podcast, as well as our other ones on our website, you can now hear us on Stitcher. You can now hear our show as well on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio, on-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episodes are always available for you, no syncing needed, and no money or storage wasted. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and beyond. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher, Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. And we are back, and before we start, I want to say Kill la Kill is the best anime of this year. I said it, bam.
I still need to watch it. I haven't watched it
Oh
ever
my
yet.
god. Okay, it real quickly. It's getting towards the end of the season, and it's like gonna have like a 2 episode, like they're putting 2 episodes together, um and like in a 48 omega episode, and it's like it's gonna be the grand finale. But it's like, holy shit, dude, this anime, I never thought it'd be this good, but damn, it is
Yeah, I see you talk about it a lot.
it
Well,
it is surprisingly really good.
being as disappointed as I was with Attack on Titan, I'm reprehensive in watching Kill la Kill,
Yeah, I know fan service,
but
I know, but still.
I will watch Kill la Kill.
Hmm.
But don't be mad if I don't like it.
Okay. I will not judge. I'm just saying, in my opinion, of all the animes I've seen over the years, this one has been the best out of everyone for this year.
It
Uh,
looks like it's a fun anime with some comedy and drama. Um, I could be wrong though.
the action's really good. Trust me.
Um,
When you see the light, then you will know.
does it have comedy in it? Is
Comedy,
like
yeah, yeah, it
okay,
does. It does, but it's
yeah,
not.
because from the shots that I've seen, there are moments that are supposed to be funny at least.
Yes, it's a
Like people post that.
yeah, it's a combination of comedy and the storyline's good. The action's really awesome. And yes, there is fan service, but in my opinion, the action and story outweighs the fan service by
Well,
tenfold.
like I don't mind pure drama
Hmm.
because I mean, Attack on Titan is pure drama. The story is very very dark, but when it goes from dramatic to melodramatic, I'm like, I don't want this anymore.
Hmm.
Like, I get it. Arwen saw his entire squad get killed. I get it.
Hmm.
I get it. You don't
Right.
need to dwell on the fucking thing that happened. He's a sole survivor in his entire squad. Move on now.
Hmm.
It's just I don't know that the whole show. Like it's an anime, and animes have a tendency to make things longer than they need to be, and I have patience for that. I do, but for some reason with Attack on Titan, it was wearing very thin.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you. But yeah, when you get the chance, definitely hop on that.
Kill la Kill bandwagon.
Yes, indeed. You will not regret it once you watch.
All right, I'll check it out.
um, but aside from that, so there's still some pretty big news that been happening this past week. And by the time you guys listen to this, GDC will be over. But GDC is the Game Developers Conference being held in San Francisco, and it's basically the best of the I guess best of the minds, or best of the, as far as like game companies who come together to kind of like almost like teach or discuss issues. It's kind of like an actual conference, not like a showing off.
Right, when GDC happens, you don't get a shit ton of news about new stuff that's coming out. You get, hey, Keiji Inafune, exactly what was your inspiration and why did you make Mighty Number 9? And he basically goes through like level design and coloring schemes and music choices, like that shit you don't hear at E3 or PAX
Right. Yeah.
normally.
It's funny. It's a place free to learn is what I remember. It's I remember that
Yes.
quote specifically because I was watching back in the day when X Play was on Tech TV. They went to GDC, and they went up to Cliffy B or Cliff Blazinski, whatever you want to call him by, and like they go up to him and they ask him like, so what's the new news on the next Gears game or the next Unreal Tournament game, and he's like, we're just here to learn.
Yeah.
So it was just like funny, and it is true. It really is.
Because that was G4 for you. Was this back on Tech TV or was this G4? Because
Tech,
it feels like that was a G4 question.
no, that was Tech TV. That was back in the
Wow.
X-Play game, the X-Play days, / screensavers and all like other good stuff.
Screensavers was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
AOTS is when they started going like Pander style.
Yeah, yeah,
Not Panda style, but Pander style.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, all memories. But anyways,
Oh, video games being on TV. Will
yeah,
you ever return? Probably not.
yeah. Um, but anyways, the reason why I brought this up is because Sony made the announcement this past week that they have announced their own virtual reality that they're working on, similar to the Oculus Rift, although they call this Project Morpheus. Which, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mother already made every other Matrix meme joke
Well,
about it.
do you think that it's called Project Morpheus because of the Matrix?
I wouldn't doubt it. Um, I'm
Like, I'm not making a joke. I'm legitimately asking, like, did they try to figure out a name for it? And they were like, well, it's a virtual reality, and Matrix is a virtual reality. So, like, is that legitimate question is that why it's called the Project Morpheus? Because that's what they came up with.
I
I know you don't have the answer, but
yeah. I don't know. What's funny is like I popped this up in the first comment I see on Reddit about the Project Morpheus article is that all this talk about virtual reality with headsets from this to the Oculus Rift is really starting to remind me of Dot Hack and Sword Art Online. And for one, I'm happy for this. Just imagine developers keep the chorus of this from PC to consoles in about 10 years, which it got me thinking too because at first when the Oculus Rift was announced, like I didn't really think much of it. It's kind of a niche cool thing that was developing, and it was pretty cool that John Carmack, former id uh, employee, is working on the Oculus Rift as well. But hearing Sony that they're working their own virtual reality device or their own virtual reality thing, now it's got me interested. Now it's got me thinking. It's like, is this somewhere we're going to head down to? Because I've been hearing from a lot of the other developers, like, this is virtual reality is going to be the way of the future as far as like for gaming.
here's why it won't. Now, I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying here's why it won't. There's a difference. I'm basically giving you the devil's advocate side of this,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
People don't want to have a fucking headset strapped to their head. People want to chill back on a couch and play a game and just enjoy themselves. And because of that, this headset will become a niche, gimmicky item, much like the Wii was, or the Wii Motion, much like the Kinect is. These items won't sell well. They're going to put a lot of R&D to them, hoping that they will sell well, because what did Nintendo do? They found a quick niche market that wanted to buy a lot of these items up. They made way too much money, way too fast, didn't know how to spend it, and didn't know how to just distribute it properly, lost a lot of money in the following years. Sony's going to go through the exact same thing if they continue on this road with this item. That being said, it looks really cool. I think that virtual reality is a thing that could absolutely happen. It is something that will probably be a thing down the road. But again, I just don't see it as being something that will be a huge marketable item. People, again, like I said, people want to just chill back, relax, and play a game on their TV. People do not want to strap a fucking thing to their head.
I agree to a certain extent, but I also disagree. And here's the reason why. At Anime LA this past year, the Oculus Rift guys actually had a demo station at Anime LA. They were showing off, and it's the Dolphin classroom game where you're trying to get answers from another Dolphin student and not get caught by the Dolphin teacher.
Yeah, I know about that one.
Yeah, and I was there. I played it, and it worked as it says. And I'm moving my head around it, and I'm like, holy shit, this actually is pretty cool. I I definitely after years of playing, like I definitely feel like the feeling of sitting on the couch and just relaxing and chilling. But I do feel that it might be something. I'm not saying it could be something that it might be the future of the game industry as far as like how games are going to be, but it could be something. Because like if you were to put BioShock Infinite into a VR headset and obviously the only movement you'd be doing is with your head, but like your head's moving and you're kind of going through the environment playing the game. I feel that it'd be the immersion into the game would be a bit more enhanced than you would be sitting in front of your computer or sitting on the couch and watching
Uh,
it on TV.
here's why I disagree. Um, when you're watching a movie or you're watching a TV show or you're playing a video game, and you know you're staring at a TV, you know you're staring at a TV. There's a part of your brain that knows what you're watching is not real. When it comes to a VR or the virtual reality helmet, if you will, there is no that distinction never happens. So like let's take that comment that you had about Dot Hack or Sword Art Online.
Right.
The idea of going into those games is that your body and mind do not feel that you're in a virtual reality place. Much like the Matrix, if you will, it doesn't feel like it's an artificial environment. You know you have a fucking thing on your head.
That's true.
Also, your neck is going to notice that that is a little bit heavier now. That you have to adjust for the new weight. So your neck's going to get sore after looking around and trying to figure out where you are. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of great applications that can come from using the Project Morpheus or the Oculus Rift. I think that there are ways that those items can be very marketable, but not long term.
Yeah. I I agree. I mean, like, the one thing that I think proves your point more than mine is that think of movies today. We have the you can go see movies as is, or you can go see the IMAX or the 3D version. And I went and I like to watch movies, and I've seen both forms from time to time, and you are like a VR when you're sitting in an IMAX, you are sitting down, but you get that first sensation. It's, oh my god, it is full 3D, like it is right in front of me. But then you start to get used to it, and that effect kind of wears off. I mean, yeah, there is that cool, like, it makes you focus on the game and the story, or in this case the movie, and the story a bit more. But it comes back to, it's still a game, and it's not drawing you into the fact that you think it's actually happening in front of you, but you're still within reason, and like, and thinking that this is a game, and this is something that it's just created to make you connect with the game more than usual.
Right, and I think, and my biggest problem with this item, Project Morpheus, and again, I'm going to sound like an old fucking fogey that is nostalgic for certain games, whatever. I'm going to say it. I don't give a fuck. Companies need to stop working on product development and start putting money into game development. We are getting a slew of shitty games because companies are like, well, we have to make the next big peripheral that makes us a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, the longest lasting peripheral that I can think of is it's got to be a close tie between guitar rhythm games and DDR rhythm games.
That's true. That is very true. And if you think
those still died out.
Yeah, think about it. Like, every other peripheral outside from the Wii and Wii U has not been successful. Remember when Sony brought out that attachment for its own kind of Wii U sticks for the gun for Killzone, where you can you can use that to aim and shoot and make you feel like you're firing a real gun.
Yeah.
There was that. There was their own, like I said, their own kind of Wii U version of the for some of its games that didn't last as long. Every other peripheral in gaming history, if you think about it, has not been successful to enhance your ability to like the game better than what the game usually is.
Well, I tell people this all the time. Well, not people, but I tell certain people this all the time. When you make a game, you can't concentrate on what cool shit is in the game. That's not your main plot. Like, take Skyrim, for example. There is nothing inherently completely unique about that game. everything that they use in that game is either used in previous Elder Scroll games or is used in other forms of fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, that game is incredibly immersive and fun to play because it plays well and has interesting characters. Has a deep plot that you want to know what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Immersiveness is not strictly about being it's not about being the type of person that, I'm trying to say this correctly. Immersiveness is not about what cool shit you have with your game.
Yeah.
Immersiveness is about being taken into a place that is otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
Taken to a place that is not your regular life. I can get immersed in a comic book. There's no action that's happening. I mean, yeah, there's action happening, but I'm not seeing it in action. I'm seeing it mid-action in like a freeze frame.
Right.
But I can be completely immersed into a comic because of characters. I can be completely immersed into a movie because of characters and well direction and cinematography, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, Titanfall is a great game. It's a great fun multiplayer game, but there's no immersiveness factor into that game. Like, you can get immersed into shooting other dudes because it's a fun game to play, but not that kind of immersiveness. And if you were to add some kind of Oculus Rift thing to that game, you'd make people throw up on their couches.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's in some cases there have been said like people have been getting motion sickness because when you have the VR on, it's like your head's thinking that you're going through the air or doing something acrobatically, but your body is staying still, and the two doesn't match up, and it has caused people to be sick because of that. Um, I am interested to see where this goes. I think it's interesting that Sony announces this, and I think that we have to wait and see how it goes. It may, I mean, as we said, like history's prior is past, like every other peripheral to enhance a game has not successfully been made, or not successfully um, has not been well received as much, or has not been as commercially success. But in due time, I think we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes in the future.
Yeah.
I will say this: if virtual reality is the future, then I want my damn holodeck. So the other news that we want to talk about, and possibly maybe the last thing on this podcast, is the release of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. They came out this past week or last week. I want to say last week, but
I think it was last week, yeah.
yeah. Um, but yes, so the game is a precursor to the main game, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is a kind of introduction to its game, its world, it's a bit of its story, to get you prepared for Phantom Pain. And reviews for the game have been pretty good. They've been they've been at the very least like at least a 3 out of 5 or 8 out of 10 at the very least. But the argument that's been coming up is that some players are able to beat the game in 45 minutes. 10 minutes I've seen ridiculously short. And the thing is, though, it got me wondering because notoriously the Metal Gear Solid series always has been like you play about 5 minutes of gameplay when you first put in the game, and then you get a 2-hour cutscene. Just because, yes, there is a lot of cutscenes in every fucking game. But in the case of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero, the game is $30, and it's not a full. It's a kind of a piece of a game, but it's not the entire Phantom Pain Metal Gear Solid game that we're going to be getting pretty soon. And in my opinion, what I think what Konami's doing is they're selling like a a demo to
And
people.
I disagree. If you again, if you play the game the way it's meant to be played and play it in its entirety, it's like a 10 to 20 hour game. Um, sure, there are ways around everything and you can beat it that quickly, but so there are speedrunners that do that with other games that were never even meant to be beaten that shortly or could be beaten that shortly. And for it to be a demo, it would need to be a part of the full game that you're referring to.
Which it is.
It's not. It's not. It's a separate game. You can play Phantom Pain without playing Ground Zeroes. That's like saying Dead Rising. Uh, damn it! What was it? There was a DLC game that came out for $20.
I know you're talking about too. Dead Rising.
Something Zero.
Yeah, it's with Frank West. I remember that much.
No, it was with Chuck.
Oh, with Chuck. Oh, Case.
No, the Frank
Case Zero. Yeah.
Case Zero. Yeah, yeah. That's like calling that a demo, and it wasn't a demo. It was a side game that kind of showed you what the full game is going to have, but being its own game in its own right. A demo to me is something that you get that's a small piece of the full game. And that by the time you play the full game, that small piece that you played will be in the full game. Ground Zeroes is not in anywhere in Phantom Pain.
No, I disagree, and here's my reason. Because Ground Zero, the game itself is one level. It's a yes, it's open world. Yes, you can do these side missions. You can do for about 20 hours, but it's that particular section, the kind of the trailer that's been shown over and over again, that we've seen. That is all one particular level, designated to show you this is how the game's going to be, this is how the story is going to be shaping up, and this is what it's going to look like.
Right. It's a prelude that you pay for. It's something. It's leading into the full game, and again, it's something for fans to play that are excited about Phantom Pain.
But what's that so different than a demo, where it's a demo and it is the exact same thing, where it is a slice of the game showing you how the game's going to be.
Because that's just it. If I had two cakes, right?
Okay.
One much smaller than the other, but they were similar. Like let's say they're both chocolate, but one has chocolate chips, the other one has chocolate sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
Not that big of a difference, but still a difference nonetheless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go, okay, you can't have the big cake yet. You can have that a little while, but I'll give you a small piece of the smaller cake that will kind of taste like the bigger cake. That's not a preview of the big cake. That's its own fucking cake that kind of tastes like the other one.
I get what you're saying, but
that's not a demo. That is a taste, if you will, not a demo. A demo, again, like I said, is a slice of the main cake that you get to try. That's not what Ground Zeroes is. Ground Zeroes is its own individual story.
No, it's still the same. The story in Ground Zeroes is connected to Phantom Pain.
That doesn't mean that it's a demo of Phantom Pain.
Well, now that I mention that, I think it is, because it's even though it is not a slice of the main game, you could easily say it is, because of Ground Zero is exactly is going to be what Phantom Pain is going to be. Everything in that game is exactly the same. Like Snake is still Snake, Old Man Snake. Like the controls are going to be there that you will learn. You get to carry over to Phantom Pain, along with everything else that you learned in that short game that you were given, because you have that ample time to kind of toy around in that little one level to kind of figure out, this is how things works. And I think what really kind of irks me about it is that the price of it. I can understand if it was like maybe 5, 10, at the most 20, but $30 for it though, I don't know. I think it's kind of stretching it. for a short appetizer to the main course, as it
Okay,
were.
so right here, I just found a thing that says that Ground Zeroes takes place like a few months before Phantom Pain.
Hmm.
So Ground Zeroes will not be in Phantom Pain.
But it relates to it though.
Yes, okay, so did Case Zero. But Case, again, like I said, Dead Rising Case Zero, as it may have been a lead-in to Dead Rising 2, is not a demo to Dead Rising 2, as more of a taste. That's different. Like I said, a demonstration is a demonstration. A taste of a full game is not a demonstration. It is its own individual thing that gives you an idea.
Mm.
A demo is, here, play this. It's a small piece of the full game. That way you'll know if you want it or not. A taste of, which is what this is, what Case Zero is, and I can think of a ton of others if I wanted to, are ways for you to be like, I'm on the fence about this game, but I will play Ground Zeroes, and if I like it, then I'll go buy Phantom Pain. And what you're getting with Ground Zeroes is its own thing. You could play Ground Zeroes.
Technically, it's still the same game overall, because uh, uh, like I said, here's an example I can show you. So, you know how I say I like Kill, right?
Yeah.
And other animes I watch. Usually, with most animes that come out, they have a full season of 12 or 24 episodes, or sometimes even longer. And then they have OVAs, or like this kind of short snippet, like fun comedy episodes afterwards, or they have some actual episodes before the anime comes out, before like prequel episodes to the actual anime season that comes out. They still both retain to the story.
Oh wow! Time out. Time out.
Okay.
Phantom Pain chronologically takes place. It takes place in 1987. Hold
Uh-huh.
on, I'll go back. 1984, and Ground Zero takes place in 1975.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. It says that yes, maybe years apart, but to come on, from the gamer's point of view, like, it's gonna be part of the story, regardless. Like,
Because it's Big Boss's story.
hmm
Spoiler alert! It's not Solid Snake. Because it takes place right after the Peace Walker, which was the PSP game.
yeah,
And it takes place before. It actually takes place before the NES Metal Gear game. And the was that SNES? Hang on.
no. Actually, you know what? Do I still
Yeah,
have it?
it was Konami's SNES. Yeah.
Okay.
Metal Gear, just called Metal Gear. And then there was Solid Snake, which I believe was also SNES. But that came out in... No. Okay, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake was modern consoles, but it looks old school.
Hang on. I remember seeing a Reddit thread that chronologically put all the Metal Gear games from where it starts to where it ends.
Oh no, I'm looking at a list right now.
Oh.
Yeah, the first one takes place in 1964, and that's called Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Which is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 1970 is Portable Ops,
Mm-hmm.
which came out in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1974, Peace Walker takes place, which came out 2010. And then Ground Zeroes, which takes place in 75. And then the Phantom Pain, which takes place in 84. And Metal Gear, which takes place in 1995. And then Solid Snake, which takes place in 1999. Then Metal Gear Solid, which takes place in 2005. Then Sons of Liberty, which takes place between 2007 and 2009. And then Guns of the Patriots, which takes place 2014, and then Metal Gear Rising, which takes place in 2018. It's just the Wikipedia page here.
Oh, okay. I remember. Cause I remember somebody posted on Reddit. It's like, oh, I'm gonna bookmark this so I can play through the entire Metal Gear series in one go, one day.
That would be insane.
Oh, I know, but I want to though. One of these days.
Here's the thing. I don't call it a demo because it's not a demo. Yes, I agree with you that maybe $30 is a little too pricey for this game because, as I agree, it is a taste of Phantom Pain because it's the exact same engine, the exact same control scheme. It's a taste of, not a demo of. And that's why it costs money versus a demo not costing money.
I agree to disagree. I feel differently about it, but obviously this isn't going nowhere. But like, people at home who listen to this can give their opinions and whatnot. But yeah,
we can go around the same bush all night, but we don't have time.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that this game will be Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain is gonna be pretty awesome. So,
yeah, Phantom Pain is going to be great. I mean, really, I think ultimately, Ground Zeroes is a rental.
Yeah, I would agree.
I wouldn't pay $30 for a game that you can beat in just a few hours, unless you plan on playing every ounce of it, which will take you like 20.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's a purchase, but you still shouldn't tell video game companies that you're willing to buy that shit because it's not. I think what you and I are arguing is whether it's a demo or not. But you and I both agree it is an overpriced inflation of what people should be buying.
Yeah, agreed. I was gonna say something else too. I will say that Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain is gonna be the most brutal Metal Gear game ever. Like,
I believe it's the death of
oh yeah,
boss.
Is it really? I thought it was the death of what's her name? No, not her.
Sorry, I had to belch.
The big Big Boss was facing in Metal Gear Solid 3. The woman with the scar on her stomach. I can't remember her name. Yeah, they kind of show us how much of the Metal Gear Solid 4 I know.
You know what I will say? What I think Phantom Pain should be, or not Phantom Pain, what I think Ground Zero should have been, is a pre-order bonus.
Yeah, I agree. That should have been it. Yeah.
You know what I just read, and this is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. You'll laugh. Apparently, Ground Zeroes was originally revealed as a tech demo that they added a huge storyline element to with the voice actors and whatnot to be able to release it.
Yeah, that makes sense because they were showing that level a lot at E3, at every other press conference that they were at. They were showing off. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That is fucking funny. That it was a. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't disagree that it's like that if you were to just play that level, like the game's like, hey, here's a taste of what the game will be, but there's no storyline or whatnot, I'd be like, that's absolutely a demo. That is a tech demo to show you what the game is like. But due to the fact it has like a story element to it and it can last 20 hours, it's not a demo anymore. It becomes its own thing. That's just how I see it. But I do think that what it should have been is like, hey, if you pre-order Phantom Pain, for an extra $10, you can get this like thing that'll tie you over until the full game comes out.
Right.
But instead, they're like, oh, it's a $30 individual release. Like, ooh, that's expensive.
Yeah. Well, as I burped to myself, I think we're going to call it a night. Usually we'll have a couple more news stories, but we've been going on for a bit. But, we like to talk a lot, so that's, it happens sometimes. Anywho, Greg, where can they find you on the internet?
You find me on Twitter at ChubRockGeek. You can find me on YouTube under ChubRock. I swear to God, I'm going to start doing the gig losing it soon. I say that literally every podcast, and then I go, I don't. I just don't do it.
You probably should, because it's gonna get pretty hot in the summer.
I just bought a pair of shorts and a brand new pair of shoes, so I'm probably going to start here real fucking soon. But I don't, because I get distracted. It's not because I don't want to. It's literally because I get distracted. Like, I'll be doing a review, or I'll be working on something, and then I'm like, well, it's too late in the day, or like I have to do a bunch of shit for my parents because
Right.
I am unemployed living at home. But yeah, I just get distracted and I don't think about it, and then it's just too late in the day. And I mean, I have been doing a lot of walking lately because of other things,
Mm-hmm.
but as for walking strictly for exercise, I haven't done that yet. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you may see some soon. Hopefully, maybe, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
But
yeah,
yeah, that's it. Sorry, that's on YouTube. You just search for Chub Rock or Geek Losing It, and you'll find it. And then you can find my reviews, written reviews, and articles on this very website.
indeed. You can follow me personally on Twitter as well at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Greg do on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. Please do check out Greg's review, Twitter review of Yoshi's Island that we had discussed on this podcast, as well as go check out the video I did this past week about Capcom, the whole debacle with the new character that was released, and what the reaction was from fans and from gamers about it. But yeah, and other cool shit we do on the site. But anyways, thank you, Greg, for joining me tonight on this podcast,
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
and we will see you guys later.